أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد آل محمد وعجل فرجهم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المنتجبين المنتخبين لا سيما بعد قال سبحانه وتعالى في قرآن المجيد وفرقانه الحميد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الدين عند الله الإسلام. Assalamu alaikum. Today is the 24th of November and it is Wednesday. We are now entering to the 19th episode of our series on this topic and subject of Shia'ism, the natural outcome of Islam. Up to now, up to the earlier one, we have reached to episode 18. We gave a brief account of the sources of hadiths which were ignored in taking from the senior most Sahaba by our brothers, and it was in a reply that Shias have been put an allegation that they do not take the riwayat of Ashab. So we pointed out that what about the Sunnit world has done? Have they done justice to the senior most Sahaba in not taking their hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? So that was our issue in episode number 18. Now today our reply is in a different way, and that is why Shias do not take a hadith from other than AHLEBAIT, and that to be very specific, other than AHLEBAIT KISA. There have been many definitions given to justify and extend the line and boundaries of AHLEBAIT by different workers like Maulana Ishaq, the senior most Deobandi scholar who passed away recently. He was a great scholar, and he classified AHLEBAIT into three categories. One, those who live in house, and those who are of the family. And then for Ayat Tathir, he has specifically mentioned only those who are under KISA, they were the AHLEBAIT. So we take the riwayat of AHLEBAIT only of those who have been in the clad chadar of KISA, for whom the Ayat Tathir has come. It means this Ayat Tathir stands and holds for only for those who were under the clad of KISA. The ayah Sharifa that guarantees their infallibility is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. Now, there was a dialogue between myself and my one very good friend, who was in fact my colleague. He asked me, he's Hafiz of the Quran, very true gentleman, very noble person. He asked me that, Brother Raza, see, we follow to AHLEBAIT and Sahaba, but you only follow to AHLEBAIT and not to Sahaba. So who is a hindrance in the unity of Muslims? So his question was genuine, but the conclusion he drew was not proper. He put that into the issue of unity. Let me clarify what I have told to him. I told him, my dear, it is not the matter of unity in this issue. What is the issue in this matter is Shias are very strict. They go according to Quran, and as you are an Indian, you know that when you have to buy any item in the market, like a pressure cooker or fridge or TV or car, for example, any item, you go for, or AC, you look for seeing the stamp of ISI, then which to whom the government of India has taken the quality, the guarantee of its quality and durability, right? So there is one thing called the authority that you have to get. So the Shias put this condition that Shias had no any problem in following anybody other than the 14 AHLEBAIT, provided you bring the seal of that authenticity which they have and present from Quran, which all Muslims agree to that. Whether he is Abu Ala Maududi or Maulana Ishaq Madani, you name any scholar. And that is the ayat here, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمُ رِجْسَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ وَيُطَهِّرَكُمْ تَطْهِيرًا. This is there. So it is not that they do not take riwayat and hadith from Sahaba. If you look into, and you are a learned person, you know very well that who are Hazrat Abbas and Hazrat Zainab Salamullahi alayha. And also you know the method of our ijtihad in Najaf al-Qum, that where they take the riwayat in istinbat and ijtihad only from the Masumin AHLEBAIT alayhim salam, who are 14. They do not take any of the riwayat or sayings even of Hazrat Abbas and Hazrat Zainab Salamullahi alayha, Salamullahi alayhima. Right? So the question of taking anything other than 14 AHLEBAIT for Sahaba does not arise when they do not take in ijtihad and istinbat, in doing deduction, in drawing out the laws and masail al-fiqhiyah of other than 14 Masumin alayhim salam. So we find that this is one of the reasons. But the other things which we have to put are, as a general norm, we know that a person is known not by his outside world, but what he is and what he was within his home. Number one. Number two, we find that we take from AHLEBAIT because they know the in and out of the private life of his home, with family, with wives, with daughter, grandsons, son-in-law and cousin, the all family life, and how they all are in praising Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as he was the best, as father, as husband, as cousin, as father-in-law of Imam Ali, best of grandfather of Hasanain alayhi salam. That we get. And in the outside, we will also again see that those who are always close to Imam Rahmah Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the outside of his home, along with him always, but Imam Ali. So Imam Ali was so close to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's life in home as well as outside his home that no companion, no other one can be brought near to him in accompanying Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam all in all. And this is all acknowledged in the biography of Imam Ali as he has cited in Hajjul also, that in his childhood Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was so close in proximity of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he took all care, and he used to feed Rasulullah. He used to feed Amirul Mu'minin Ali ibn Talib in the same way how a bird feeds to its baby, the young one. So I was fed by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam both the physical diet and the ideological diet and food. And this was, we can find, it was the same which Abu Talib, Imran al-Abu Talib, took care of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he was orphan and he was young at the time, and he took care for 3 years in Abu Talib, in protecting him and feeding the entire Muslim Ummah of that time for 3 years in Abu Talib. So Abu Talib at one time he fed entire Muslim world of that time, of that population for 3 years, not just one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. He took care of the entire Muslim Ummah along with Rasulullah Karam Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Amirul Mu'minin Alayhi Salam. And it will be injustice on this part to, if I do not make a mention of the other one who supported Rasulullah Karam Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in the initial stages, and she was the first wife, who is still the most honored wife of Rasulullah Karam Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Khadija bint Khuwailid. So these were the two who were there. Abu Talib Islam was father of Amirul Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib Islam, and Khadija bint Khuwailid was mother of Mawlatina Fatima al-Zahra Salamullahi alayha. The second reason that we take, the Shiites take the riwayat from AHLEBAIT, are that Allah and Rasul loved them, and they loved Allah and Rasul. For Allah and Rasul, of their love, we can see around 300 ayat in Quran Majid, and one complete chapter, Surah Al-Dahr, and the other surah which needs to be reintroduced, which we read on daily basis, but we do not realize for whom that surah is, and that is the 56th chapter, Surah Al-Waqi'ah. Just go through its verses between the lines, word to word, then you will realize for whom it is. And then you see the tafasir of Ma'sumin alayhi salam, then you will come to know for whom this chapter again is. Then over and above, there are 300 verses in 300 verses which have come down for AHLEBAIT alayhi salam, Amirul Salam and AHLEBAIT alayhi salam. The prime of them is the 13th chapter and verse number 43, where the ayah Sharifah says, قُلْ كَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَكُمْ وَمَنْ عِنْدَهُ عِلْمُ الْكِتَابِ. So there are two things. One is Amirul Mu'minin alayhi salam. Here is in the matter of judiciary and justice in the language, is an equal witness with Allah in this ayat. In the matter of giving witness for Rasulullah, where Allah's and Amirul Mu'minin's witnesses are sufficient, kafi, enough, sufficient. Whether anyone gives witness for Rasulullah Nubuwwah and Risala or not, it doesn't matter. Only the witnesses of Allah and قُلْ كَفَى بِاللَّهِ شَهِيدًا بَيْنِي وَبَيْنَكُمْ وَمَنْ عِنْدَهُ عِلْمُ الْكِتَابِ, the one who has got the knowledge of the book. So here the two things which come now, one is the witness, and the second is the knowledge of the book, the complete book. The third point which we need to emphasize is, the first we have taken how Allah and Rasulullah Karam Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam have love for AHLEBAIT. This was in turn to the love which AHLEBAIT alayhi salam have done for Allah Azza wa Jal. The evidence is that you can see their kalam, their speech, their sermons, their letters, sayings, all are enriched with pure, nascent tawheed. Go through any of the sermons of Nahjul Balagha, go through any dua from Adiyatul Saif al-Kamilatul Sajjadiyah, or see any of the dua from Adiyah Amirul Mu'minin in Saif al-Alawiyah, or you see even small in size, in length and breadth duas, but the logic, the philosophy, the meaning, the spirit in each of them is just a marvel in their own might. What does it all reflect? They reflect the most, to them the most beloved was only Allah Azza wa Jal, and because of Allah's hubb and habba, ashaddan hubba lillah, they loved Rasulullah Sallallahu and Rasulullah Sallallahu and Allah Azza wa Jal loved AHLEBAIT because they loved Allah Azza wa Jal. So the central figure in Islam is Tawheed Bari Ta'ala and His love. So that was the most one preserved by AHLEBAIT alayhi salam in the entire Muslim world, in entire history to date. we see that we call it awwal wal akhir. It has come in riwayat that Amirul Mu'minin has said that I am the awwal and the akhir. Though people have taken, there are many meanings and people can interpret that on their own ways. So some have become frowned as what is this, awwal wa akhir is only Allah. But they forgot to take the account of the meaning and what can be its expansion and in the meaning and where else it could be applied. For example, awwal wa akhir, hatman bidat is Allah Azza wa Jal. But here, when it is said Alpha and Omega, we can say that here the Alpha is in the first invitation of Islam in Dawat al-Ashira, the one who kept the word of Rasulullah without letting the word go empty, as we say in insult as hatak, the one who kept the honor, respect and preserved the word of Rasulullah was Amirul Mu'minin. When he was asking that I have come with a mission and whoever will accompany me and will attest me, the first one, he will be my successor after me. He was very clear, verbatimly very clear, very explicit, but none of them except Imam Amirul Mu'minin alayhi salam stood 3 times. Now we see in Quran Majid, قل جاء الصدق وصدق. قل جاء الصدق وصدق. That is one who brought sidq. The sidq here is Islam, and that was brought by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وصدق, and one who attests. So the first person who attested the call of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam without saying and without letting it go empty as hatak, insult, it was Amirul Mu'minin. Then what the ayat said? قُلْ جَعَلْ صِدْقَ وَصَدَّقَ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُتَّقُونَ. If I am forgetting, it is أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُتَّقِينَ. Well, make the correction if there is anything goes wrong, because in matter of Quran we cannot say because of my memory at the moment. I am saying both, so please correct it. It is better to give that clarification than to keep quiet. So I am of the opinion that things should be transparent, and especially in matter of Islam and Quran and sayings of Masumin al-Islam. I think it is Ulaika humul muttaqun. Okay. So in taqwa, in being muttaqi, the one who brought deen, Ja Sidq, Islam, he and the one who has attested in the degree of taqwa and muttaqun, both are equal. There is no difference. Then the ayat further, the next ayat goes as lahum ma yasha'una 'inda rabbihim. So with both of them, lahum ma yasha'una 'inda rabbihim, with them is the mashiyat ilahi. So in them, it's a plural form. The plural form stands for, classically, for Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Imam alayhi salam, and the other Masumin salam who are to come till we reach to 12th Imam, including Mawlatana Fatimatu Zahra Salamullah alaiha at first and highest level. And at the second level, yes, all those who accompanied Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam sincerely, honestly, later on in degrees, they too will be, or they too can be, lahum ma yasha'un. But in the absolute and highest degree, lahum ma yasha'un will be Rasulullah sallallahu Amirul Islam, who gave the testimony on the call of Rasulullah sallallahu qul jaa sidqa wa saddaqa. Jaa sidqa, Rasulullah sallallahu who brought Islam, and saddaqa, the one who gave his testimony, Amirul Mu'minin. So this is the second reason. And their progeny, the Masumin alayhi salam, all 14 Masumin salam in this plural form. Otherwise there are only 2. I should have come with the dual form, because in Arabic they are tasniyat, the dual form, but it is the plural form. The plural form stands classically for 14 Masumin, and they're in degrees to all those who come in their path honestly and sincerely. So this was the case in Alpha, in the first stage where Rasul Amin al-Salam, Hazrat Ali ibn Abi Talib Islam has kept the word of Rasulullah. And in the Omega, that is the Akhir, Awwal Akhir, that was in the initial stage of Islam as Awwal, that he kept the word of Rasulullah. Then in the Akhir or in Omega, we find that Rasulullah was given the mission of Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu jahidil kuffara wal munafiqina waghluz alayhim. O Prophet, do jihad with the mu'minin, with the Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu jahidil kuffara wal munafiqin. O Nabi, do jihad with kuffar and munafiqin. We see that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has done jihad only with the kuffar, but not with munafiqin. So his mission before he passed away remained unaccomplished until the jihad with munafiqin too could have been done. Now, after the sadful demise of Rasulullah, the part of jihad against the munafiqin was left to the one who is nafs Rasul. If you do not honor the jihad of Aminul Islam with munafiqin after Rasulullah to accomplish the mission of the prophetic mission, then you have to admit that still the mission of Rasulullah is na'udhu is unaccomplished. And if you have to make the mission of Rasulullah as accomplished, then you must admit that the jihad with Amirul Mu'minin has done in Jamal, Siffin and Naharwan, it was a mission that accomplished for Rasulullah, and that is because Amirul Islam, since he was nafs in Mubahala as nafs Rasul, so the jihad with nafs Rasul has completed the mission of Rasulullah after his sadful demise. So this was in the end as Omega. So in Alpha we see that how Imam Ali has helped Islam and Rasulullah by his testimony in the first stage of Zul Ashira, keeping the word and respect and honor for the call of Islam by Rasulullah and by his testimony was Saddaqa. Then in the end we find how Imam Ali has accomplished the mission of Nubuwwah Risala after the sadful demise of Rasulullah. So in these two, don't we find who is more fitful from whom the Islam is to be taken? Quran and its meanings are to be taken. And then the next reason number 5, why we take Islam from AHLEBAIT? Because Allah's policy, that is the Allah's policy to take deen from those whom he has appointed, like وَجَعَلْنَا أَئِمَّةً يَهْدُونَ بِأَمْرِنَا. Although this was the ayat revealed for the leaders of Bani Israel, but the recording of ayat in Quran are not just dead up to their era alone. They have their application all the time till the day of judgment. So what is the application that for which it has come in two places? One is the Surah chapter number 21 ayat 73, and the other Surah Al-Sajda 32:24. Then we have ayat wilayat. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, innama waliyukumullah wa rasool walladhina yu'minuna yutuna zakata wa hum raki'un. This was for Imam Ali alayhi salam. Some people have created doubt that making its meaning as just as taking a friend, as it has come for the Ahle Kitab in the previous few ayat. But they forgot that here Allah is wali in what meaning? Rasul is wali in what meaning? As master, ruler, or friend, just friend? And in the ayat which they refer, don't make friends with the people of the book, there also the word wali has come for do not make your ruler, don't be ruled under them, not just friends, because Islam says for friendship with all human beings to make good friendship, As far as friendship meaning is concerned, it is for all, whether he is a Muslim or a non-Muslim or people of the book. We have to keep good relations in our society. So the ayah Sharifah which says that do not make your wali does not mean friends. In fact, in Surah Al-Mumtahina in Ayat 8 it says here we have to dispense justice with all those who are good to you. So this is the accommodation of tolerance of Islam, not accommodation, in fact, tolerance of Islam, that it allows to have good relations with peoples of all walks of life. And as Imam Ali said that you have two brothers, one brother in deen, your brother in deen, and the other one in kind, the human being. So the meaning of the ayat, which our people try to twist it, its meaning as friends, that do not make friendship with the people of book, it is not friendship. That was there, the wali is also as master. That is, you do not be in the rulership under the rule of Ahlul Kitab or any other people, because you should rule, and then under you, if they are there, then the justice will be dispensed to you. But if they are the rulers, they will do justice with themselves, and you will be deprived of the justice which we see elsewhere in the world from time immemorial to date in different forms. It was necessary to erase the misconception that the wali in the ayat, that do not take Yahudu Nasara or the people of the book as your wali, does not mean a friendship, because friendship with them Allah has not discouraged. What He has discouraged is to go under their rule, and it is in that meaning. Here is Allah is wali. Allah is wali in what meaning? He is the hakim, He is wali, He is mawla, the ruler. So in the same meaning which Allah is taking as wali, mawla, in the same meaning is the Rasool, as hakim, and this what in the same meaning is for us Amirul Salam, as what he has said in the plains of Ghadir, that am I not your mawla? So first he confessed their meaning and defined the term what mawla holds for. When he said that yes, you are our mawla and you are above our nufus. So when he got confessed from the Muslims in front of him that I am awla bi tasarruf on your nufus, then he said, man kuntu mawla. What is meant by mawla here? Mawla in the same sense, that which you have confessed from me, in the same meaning, in the same way, this Ali is your mawla, that is a hakim, not just as friend. And so we find in Surah An-Nisa ayat 59, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu atiullaha wa atiur rasulahu wa ulil amri minkum fa in tanaza'tum. This part we will discuss later, because this ayat also is misinterpreted by many of Muslims, where the misunderstandings have come in that to twist the meaning here also. But in the first part it is clear, ayyuhallazina amanu atiullaha wa atiur rasulahu wa ulil amri minkum. So we have to obey Allah and then Rasul. In the presence of Rasul, we will obey only Rasul, of course. The question of obeying Ulil Amr comes when Rasul passed away with sadful demise. He left us. So that is after Rasulullah. And the sixth is AHLEBAIT are Sahiban Tathir of Ismat wa Tahara. So we need to take deen from someone who are guaranteed by Allah Azza wa Jal in their infallibility, in their best quality being, and they are AHLEBAIT alayhim salam. At the last is, it's a binding on all Muslims for having mawaddah with AHLEBAIT. It says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرًا إِلَّا الْمَوَدَّةَ فِي الْقُرْبَى. So what is the meaning of qurba? Qurba means we have to take deen from AHLEBAIT. We have to be loyal to them. So it is for these reasons that the Shiite Imamiyya, they take deen, understand Quran, Tawheed, all deen, and Usul deen, Aqaid, Furu'at deen, exclusively from Rasulullah revealed, that was the Quran revealed to him, and the meaning explained by AHLEBAIT alayhim salam. In the next part we will continue what is the meaning of tafakkur, tadabbur, and taking meaning and tafsir from Masumin salam, and the meaning of tafsir birrai, inshallah, in our next episode. Till then, fi amanillah, fi hifzillah, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم وسهل مخرجهم واحشرنا معهم وارزقنا شفاعتهم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه بهذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم وسهل مخرجهم واحشرنا معهم وارزقنا شفاعتهم.